Well, 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 you stumbled upon our vault. We have some classic episodes here, although we did rename ourselves Two Al's, One Pod. Enjoy. Do not forget to rate and review us. Thanks for your support.
I could put you in the brig for what you've done, but I won't do it.
What the hell's going on out here?
Here we go. Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast, volume 146. We're spinning off of the web series The Two Dicks, which is on YouTube, season 1 and 2. I'm Al Romas. I'm in Cozumel, Mexico, and that is Al Ducharme. I don't know where he is today. I haven't checked in. Only thing I know is we're going audio only today. There'll be no video for the Patreon people. We apologize. The Wi-Fi from two ships in different locations was just
I want two, 3, 4. Shitty Wi-Fi.
too much to handle in 2021, and we want to do quality, so we're doing it audio version only. But you know what we look like. It's all good. Alfred, how are you? Where are you? Fill us in. What's going on? It's weird I can't see you. How are you?
It's kind of strange that we can't see one another because we've been doing it video for over a year now, almost a year and a half. I'm anchored in Bonaire. Bonaire is one of the islands, the ABC Islands off the coast of Venezuela. Bonaire. You've been down here many times, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean those islands to me, and not to sound snobby, they all blend together. I can't. I don't know. Have I been to Bonaire? Yes. Do I know anything about it?
All right, I'll give you a
Can I
little bit of
remember
background.
anything about it? No, they're all the same.
No, well,
all the same.
in one way or another, some of them are
cigars, wine. Yeah, it's all the same.
Well, Aruba is the
It's all the same.
It's the home of the divvy tree because they tend to have the winds so strong there most of the time that the trees grow sideways. And then you have Bonaire, the B,
Right.
and then you have C, which
Right.
is
You're not going to go through the alphabet, are you? You're going to stop one of these, please.
this is an educational
And
program.
then we have
as well
Q,
as being,
which is
we're going to get to D for you, the dick.
I'm going to go to lunch. When I get back, try to wrap this up. Would you
I
please?
said the
Holy
ABC
shit.
Islands, and I was giving the folks an idea of where we are.
I got bored today. I got bored. I got bored today. I'm sorry.
I let you
The
do
whole
your
concept
intro.
bored me.
I let you
When's
do.
it started?
We
When's
have a
it
half.
started going? A is 4. I was
we
already
have,
out.
we have a half a
Me
second
and
delay
9
too.
Other downloads went.
That's why we keep talking over one another. That's my excuse.
Yeah.
Al's excuse is I'm just gonna talk when he's talking. Oh boy. Anyways, so we're in the ABC Islands. Where are you again? I forgot. Are you in Coco Cocaine, where they used to do all the cocaine drops?
No, I said I was in Cousin Mel.
Oh, Cousin Mel. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. 2 seconds ago, I said
I know.
I'm in
I know.
Cousin Mel.
You get me all weirded up, man. You get me all
Try to follow.
you ruffle my
Try to
feathers.
follow the pod, man. Hey, remember Pat O'Donnell, the comedian Pat O'Donnell from Philadelphia? He, funny guy.
I thought he was originally from Rhode Island. Stop. I thought he was originally from Rhode Island and he moved down there.
Well, I've known him as long as I've ever known him. He's a Philly guy, so
Okay.
I don't know about this Rhode Island. You know, I didn't do a background check. Let's just
Maybe
say
I'm
that.
thinking
I
of
just know.
maybe
Pat
I'm thinking
from
of
Philly.
Jim McDonald. I always get them confused.
Yeah, it's real close to Pat O'Donnell. And Pat wrote on Facebook, the hell? Pat wrote on Facebook, hey, great podcast, which was nice. And then he wrote, hey, my favorite line from The Fugitive is I don't care. So there you go, because we
And the
podcast with I don't care, Tommy Lee Jones. But then he wrote, did you know, and I didn't know this, maybe you knew this, Alfred, I don't care was an ad lib. It was an ad lib. It was not
by
the
actor
script.
Tommy Lee Jones.
The original. Yeah, the original line in the script was, that's not my problem. And Tommy Lee didn't care for it. He said, can I do another one? And said, I don't care.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
And we have gold. So interesting.
And it's the way he said it too. And I always put a little bit of influence of my own on it, but it's I don't care.
And and which is so much better than that. It's not my problem. You
Mhm.
know, I don't care is great because he literally, that guy doesn't give a he just wants to catch him. That's all he matters. You did it, you didn't do it, doesn't matter to me. I got to catch it. That's it. Let the courts sort it out.
Mhm.
You know.
You're the
so
fugitive.
thanks to
I'm the
Pat
cop. I'm the U.S. Marshal.
popping in.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. And he listened. He listened to the very end. Proof of the pudding, right there. Proof in the pudding that he listened to the very end of our podcast. And anybody who makes it to the very end deserves a special shout out.
No doubt. And where's that expression come from anyway? Proof in the pudding. What does that even mean? You know what I mean? Like, what's the proof? You have pudding. I don't understand how that became an expression that means something.
Meaning of the English idiom, the proof is in the pudding. Also used, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. The proof is in the pudding means that the real results of something can only be judged by actual experience or results rather than by theory or appearance.
It's got to be
The
British.
proof is in the pudding. I don't want that. I don't want proof in the pudding. You know what I mean?
What's
Maybe a
the,
raisin.
Mhm.
Maybe a raisin in the pudding would be all right. Or
What's the lyric?
chocolate, of course. But
What's the lyric? You can't have any pudding to eat all your meat. What was that? What's the line? No, I'm
oh,
paraphrasing.
Pink Floyd.
Pink
Floyd.
Floyd's- Oh, yeah, what was the lyric?
You can't have any meat. No, you can't have any pudding until you've eaten all your meat. Something like brick in the wall.
Brick in the wall.
Yeah, you can't have any pudding until you've.
If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding.
We don't need no education.
Well, I think they do. That's a double negative.
It is. And the way they say it with the Cockney accent.
That was somebody's joke. Somebody's joke back in the day, in the 80s or 90s. That's a double negative. I
Al
don't know
Romas
who
and
that
Al
is.
Ducharme are known for taking jokes off the shelf, dusting them off, presenting them, and then giving the credit to some comic without giving their name from the 80s.
But
or
at least we
90s.
try to give the yes. But we
But
try to give
but
the
you got to
credit
remember,
where we can.
you also got to remember
We
a lot
can.
of these lines graduate from stock lines to hack lines because someone did it first on stage somewhere, and then there's like 12 clones of comics that do the same line,
Yeah.
and then it just it travels
Yeah,
around
and
the
that's
globe.
when it really becomes hack is when it's like 2021 and you see a comic on stage still doing
Oh, that's hack.
brick in the wall joke, and then he's doing that like that's a double negative, and you go, dude, like, come on, you know, Jesus
that
Christ,
shit.
you know, you can't do that. But it, you know, it's the school of hey, this works, and I'm not changing anything. You know what I mean? So, in shows, I'm down to 5, sir. 5 shows left for the kid here on the Adventure of the Seas, and then it's out of here September 18th. I'll be leaving the vessel, flying back to the United States. I've been out of the United States for many, many months. I'm a fugitive myself.
A man with no country.
That would have been a great time for you to say, I don't care.
Oh, fuck. It's just let's take it again. Let's do it again.
Jesus.
Let's do it again. Do it again from the top. And
And September 18th, I'll be going home back to the United States. I've been out of the United States for 5 months.
I don't care.
oh my, we're
Couple of naturals
we're our
here.
biggest fans.
Couple of naturals.
Paul, I'm your
Woo,
biggest
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Annie.
Hey, we're doing good though. We're
Thank
getting,
you, Annie. Can you-
we're getting some.
I need something for the pain, Annie.
Was that who's that?
That's from
Was
Misery.
that Misery? Oh yeah,
Kathy Bates.
Misery. Right.
Who's the
I
actor? You
saw
have
that
5
movie
seconds.
once. James Caan.
And ooh, right on the wire. You pulled it, man. And I got to give you half a
I
second.
did pull it.
I got to give you half a second because of the delay. So
Oh, thank you. I saw it in the theater once on the road. I think I was on the road doing comedy clubs, and it was good. I don't know. It's not one of those movies that stay. I'm not like that's one of the greats, or it's fine.
it's one of the movies that I'm still quoting in 2021 in the Caribbean.
I know. I don't care for that.
I know you don't.
I don't think it's a quotable. To me, it's not a. But it's
Oh
your
my
call.
God,
You
Kathy
quote whatever
Bates
the
is
hell you like.
extraordinary in that movie.
So hot, so hot. No, I don't remember. Is she not? I don't remember the movie.
You don't remember that he's a writer?
I remember.
He goes up to the mountain
remember
to do
it.
some writing. Stephen King, hello, and then gets caught in a
Kidding.
snowstorm. Goes off, gets into a horrible car wreck.
Right.
She's a registered nurse that lives in. She's a recluse up there in the
I
mountains.
remember.
And she takes him in, but the roads are all blocked.
Yeah.
My name is Annie Wilkes.
Everybody sure likes those misery books.
We had it at the
I guess it was kind of a miracle you finding me.
In a way, I was following you.
You were following me.
Oh, Paul, I've read everything of yours, but the misery novels. You must be a good man, or you could never have created such a wondrous, loving creature as Misery Chastain.
Very kind.
Dirty bird. How could you?
Misery Chastain cannot be dead.
Misery Spirit is still alive.
I don't want her spirit! I want her! And you murdered her!
And don't even think about anybody coming for you, because I never called them. Nobody knows you're here. And you better hope nothing happens to me. Because if I die, you die.
I know you've been out. Is this what you're looking for?
Eventually, you'll come to accept the idea of being here.
Annie, whatever you're thinking about doing, please don't do it. Annie, for God's,
Shh, darling. Trust me.
God's sake.
It's for the best. God, I love you.
And B is for Bon Air, and C is for.
I wish we were up along the side of your ship right now. And we had torpedoes, because I would man my fucking torpedo and sink your hull.
Hey, now. I play the Battleship game with my niece Olivia. There's one on the phones, and we play the Battleship. It's great. You can, they kind of modernized it obviously for the phones, but we get to play a little Battleship, and it takes a couple, maybe 2 weeks when it's all said and done, because you do one and then she's busy, then she sends one to me, and I might not see it for a couple hours, and eventually the game is finished. So
Well,
check that out. Battleship.
our
on the
listeners,
good.
our listeners don't care.
You're just sitting there now for waiting to
D is for
drop that
Dominica.
whenever you can.
The island of Dominica was established in 1649. The British ruled island was
What?
became independent
yeah.
in 1982.
All right. All right. Hey. Speaking of Mary,
It became
we lost,
a member
legend.
of the Caribbean Parliament in
Oh my
1994.
God. Kill me, kill me, kill me, please, God, please. I'm begging you.
All right, go ahead. Go on with your
146
little.
of these.
Go on with your story.
No, we lost a legend last week, a legend of television, and Ed Asner. Think of that. Ed Asner.
93 years old, Ed Asner, from the established actor, stage and screen, but Mary Tyler Moore show in the 1970s. Lou Grant was the character, iconic character. Lou Grant. Oh, Mary. Mary. Mary.
Ed was amazing. I think the only guy who won an Emmy comedically as Lou Grant, and then for drama, playing the same character. So 2 Emmys, 2 different genres, same character. I think it's the only guy who's ever done it.
Wow.
That's
Do I have to look that up?
No, don't bother. I'm positive of that. So
Okay.
I mean, I'm positive he did it, and no one else.
Just do me a favor.
Nobody
Big
else
favor.
won an
Big-
Emmy.
I need
yeah.
I need a favor.
Mm,
Do not say that
Mm.
you're positive during
Right.
these times. Just say
mm.
I fact checked it. I looked
That's
into
funny.
it. I did some research.
Exactly. Yeah, I had an antigen test this morning, so you know what I mean.
12 hours,
happens.
24
Mm.
hours.
It would suck. I don't know. It would suck to be quarantined in my last 2 weeks on the ship. I wouldn't care for that at all. So that'd be a bummer.
Quarantine the day before you get off. You can't leave the ship. You're gonna put you in quarantine for 2 weeks.
Let me go.
But for 25 grand a week,
man.
for 25 grand a week is what the rumor is you're getting paid. I'd stay in my cabin for 2 weeks, 50 grand.
Is that the rumor?
Yep, that's the rumor. Why is
that the rumor?
Why
Is
is
that the
Alan
current
Romas getting
rumor?
paid so much?
Well, they haven't seen my show if they're asking that. God damn, I'm worth every fucking penny of what I'm doing out here, keeping an audience, stealing acting.
You're the only reason the cruise industry is up and running right now. We all owe it to you.
Well, I could be, because I was the first one. This is the first ship out there, and so yeah. I mean, I should be getting some thanks from the other people, but nobody does. Nobody cares. Nobody, But that's fine. I'm home in 2 weeks. That's all, and then I can get my life going a little bit, and then go back out. I'm going on the some other ship, Liberty, for 2 weeks in October out of Galveston, Texas, which I love. I love Galveston.
I do like Galveston.
Great home port.
Galveston.
Do they have a song? Is that their song actually, or is that just you just made that up?
No, that's a song that was written by a country western singer, Glenn Campbell, or at least he recorded it, and it was a big hit for him in the 70s.
Oh,
maybe even before then, but I remember it being played around my house.
I don't recall
as a child.
Galveston, oh Galveston.
Huh.
I can hear you.
He was
blah, blah,
it was
blah,
funny
blah.
because when I got to realize who he was, it was that rhinestone cowboy kind of era.
I'm a rhinestone cowboy.
But before that,
rodeo.
he was part of the whole Wrecking Factory in L.A. He was a hell of a guitarist, and he was one of the guys who, if you listen to all the early Monkees and Beach Boys and all that shit, he's playing guitar on all that stuff. So he was a session man, and then became a solo, star.
And he had a bunch of top 10 or definitely top 40 hits, both mainstream and country western.
I don't know any. I know Rhinestone Cowboy, and what's the other ones? I don't. Galveston.
Galveston was a hit. You got to look this shit up. Fact check me, will you?
I never heard of it. Galveston.
Al Romas thinks because he's never.
What's
heard
the
of
other
it.
hit?
He's such a wordsmith and a fucking researcher, and he retains all this information. He's a philosopher. He goes to the Illuminati meetings, and if he hasn't heard of it, it doesn't exist.
Well, I've never heard of the song Galveston. I'm just saying, and you said it's a hit. I would think if it's a hit, I might have heard it at some point in my life, but maybe not. Maybe it was earlier than I would know.
I'll give you this,
but I can't think of other hits. Rhinestone Cowboy. What was the other one he had right at the same time? Rhinestone Cowboy, and he had two songs that summer of 76, I'll guess. Do you know?
I think if you look it up, if you were to
Rhinestone
look it up,
Cowboy.
matter of fact, if you're listening to this podcast and you've gotten this far,
I don't want to look it up. I'm in the middle of a pod.
We can't jeopardize our bandwidth right now because we'll lose everything. We already had to give up the video. But if you're listening and you got this far, congratulations. If you want to look something up and post it in the comments below and say, here's a string of hits by Glenn Campbell. And then his daughter, and I think her husband were on tour. He just passed away a few years ago. They were on tour, and he was like degree, whatever it was, 10 of Alzheimer's. And he was forgetting his lyrics on stage.
I don't think there are degree levels.
Hypothetically. Whatever
he's
had.
level 10. Put him down. Level 10.
Why do you have to dismantle what I'm saying here?
I don't think he'd be performing. I'm just saying, I don't think he'd be performing.
Let's say there's 5
10.
levels. He was performing at level 4. And he would forget, and his daughter would have to remind him of the
Superman.
lyrics.
That's amazing.
And then he'd go, let's do this song. And they go, Dad, we just did that song.
Oh, really?
And then I think, and it was on like 2020 or something.
The whisper in his ear?
Yeah, like
Galveston.
Cyrano
Dad,
de
Galveston.
Bergerac.
And he's like,
Yeah.
that's not even a fucking song.
Roma said it doesn't exist. Roma said we've never had any hits after that last one, Rhinestone Cowboy. He said that we've never had a hit. So I'm going with Romus.
D is for the Dominican.
No, Dominica. Don't. Oh, did we lose you? Did I think we just lost part. I think we.
No,
lost.
I'm here.
Okay.
We're here.
Dominican
Hey,
Republic. You know what it is? You said.
What other news item I noticed?
Oh, go ahead.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
This thing is a disaster.
So what?
This fucking thing. Anyway,
it's free. It's free unless you're a Patreon member and you don't have video right now.
Did you see? That's right. The Patreon members are pissed, but the other people, you know, it's part what it is.
We're going to make it up to our
traveling.
Patreon
We're working
members.
comics on ships and 2 ships. Oh yeah, 2 ships. I don't know. Has this ever been done? Maybe this is a unique podcast. Has this ever been done? 2 comics, 2 different ships, a pod. This could be something.
Two comics, 2 ships, 1 cup.
Yeah. And if you don't get that reference, good for you. You're a nice person. You know what I mean? Only dirty people know that reference. So congratulations for not knowing that. Hey, one other news story. Did you see the thing, the baby from the Nirvana album?
Yep.
The little baby, he's suing now as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And some sort of child pornography. And he wants a couple mil. Meanwhile, this guy is posed during the years as an adult, recreating the album cover. What are your thoughts on that, Alfred?
I say it's good publicity. It's good for record sales of Nirvana and the estate of Kurt Cobain. I think it's bringing light to a problem with album covers and naked people. I think that they should give him movie tickets and $25 gift certificate.
Movie tickets?
Tickets? A porn house, yeah. A porn house. So you're saying he's actually posed to...
Are you time traveling?
AMC is kicking
I'm going to head
ass.
to the porn house. I want to see Debbie Does Dallas.
What do the kids call it these days? They call it porn.com or something.
The phone?
Right? The phone, yeah.
Yeah, they don't go anywhere. They close the door and turn the phone on, and you got your
I think
red
live
tube,
live
your
sex
various...
shows are big now. That's like huge now.
I haven't heard any of that, so I can't
Well, it
say
doesn't
yes or
exist.
no. Where
if
would that
Al
be?
Romas has not heard of it, it just doesn't exist. There's a whole underworld of sex,
Live sex shows?
eyes and asses wide open.
You're making this up now. There's no such thing. And in today's world, we're in a goddamn pandemic, live sex shows, I don't see that being true. I'm gonna have to say no on that. Sorry.
Let's look at Vegas.
Gonna have to
Let's
put
go
the
to
kibosh
Vegas.
on that.
Look at Vegas. It's a pandemic,
Let's go
and
to
Vegas
Vegas.
is open and rocking and
Vegas,
rolling,
baby.
and about 1/10 of the people are wearing masks. So it doesn't exist there, but these other things do. All the vices. The smoking, the drinking, the gambling, and the porn, and the hookers. It's all there.
Right.
It's all there.
Okay.
This shit
I
goes
just
on.
did, but you made it sound like there were live sex shows.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a thing.
There's a thing.
All
It's
right.
It's underground.
I haven't seen it. All right. Underground.
I haven't seen it either.
Like at Planet of the Apes? Like Planet of the Apes with the people, they live underground after the bomb
I
goes
think
off.
the
They peel their
peop-
masks off.
The part of the population, world population, that likes to take risks are doing these things.
Yeah.
They
Underground?
They take risks with AIDS and pandemic. It's just all like they're like
Right, but not
they do.
underground. They do it above ground. Above ground. Not underground. Seems weird. Did that freak you out as a kid seeing that Planet of the Apes when they peel the masks off their face and you see their veins and their radiated faces? Did that freak you out as a young boy in Rhode Island?
I don't think so.
No, you didn't. Beneath the Planet of the Apes didn't freak you out, man. Wow.
I enjoyed it as a young fellow.
Yeah. Was it? I would think it freaked everybody out. That was the ending. That was the shock ending when they pull their masks off and you see their radiated faces. Surprised.
Spoiler
You didn't get
alert. Spoiler
No.
alert.
Damn it. Sorry, everybody.
Damn you, man.
Hey,
Mm.
I don't know where we are on time, but speaking of the apes and all, do you ever see Dana Gould's got a YouTube channel where he does Dr. Zayas
Yes.
as a talk show host from
Yeah,
like the 70s?
Dana Gould, comedic genius, in my opinion. Very out there, very avant-garde. Yes, that's worth checking out. Correct?
Yeah, it's called Hanging with Dr. Z. And he does a little monologue and then he interviews like a celebrity guest as Dr. Zayas. It's he's done a lot of that where he's done Mark Twain. He's done a Mark Twain monologue as Dr. Zayas. Hilarious, crazy. But this Hanging with Dr. Z is pretty out there. But made me think of it was he was promoting a night somewhere. They were showing all 5 of the Planet of the Apes movies. Go ape for a day type thing. And he had been mentioning Beneath how the masks and the underground.
Yeah, he's a real Planet of the Apes
check it out if you
nerd.
can.
Yeah, he's a big nerd about that stuff and obsessed with it, conventions and whatnot. He's got his finger on the pulse of the whole genre. But it's apparently that's kind of a little bit of an underground thing.
Yeah, he took. I'm big into it and all, and he took the Rod Serling book. I mean, the book was written by a French guy. Then Serling took that, wrote the screenplay for the first Planet of the Apes. But Dana Gould wrote not a comic book. What do you call it when it's a little more serious than a comic book? But it's not it has pictures, but not a. What is that called?
It doesn't exist.
Help us. Help us, people. Anyway, call it right now if you know. What is that called? Something like that. Or fuck, what is that? It's a comic book, but it's a little more serious, so they don't call it a comic book. Anyway, he wrote an updated one of Rod Serling's screenplay. He wrote the book of it now, and it's out there. You can get it online, and pretty cool. But yeah, he's really into it. Pardo's into it too. Jimmy.
Oh, really?
Friend of our show, Jimmy Pardo, comedian. He's a big Planet of the Apes guy too. So yeah,
we had Jimmy on our
cool
podcast.
Kids are into the apes, man.
Do you remember what episode that was? Jimmy Pardo. Wasn't it like
I don't, but
104
it was
or something like that?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
103.
Yeah. We had some good guests right in there. We had Bill Burr right before the 100. I think Burr was 98, 99. A 2-parter with us. Bill Burr, 2 parts. Check it out if you're new to the Talking Dicks.
We had Mark Norman.
And Mark Norman, who's got a Netflix special coming out next month. And fucking hilarious, man. The guy's he's one of the best, one of my favorites. And,
he's off the wall though. He's the newer generation. Even though he's like 40 years old, he's like the newer generation of this odd taking comedy and turning it upside down kind of a thing.
And he doesn't give a shit, which is just brilliant. I don't know if he doesn't give a shit or it's an act. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but he will say and do anything, doesn't care, doesn't think about it. And it's working for him. And it's really funny.
You just sent me a clip of, he was on someone else's video podcast, I can't remember their names, 2 African-American.
The Ghetto Boys.
The Ghetto Boys. So he's on there. He goes, yeah, I was the only, Mark said, we were the only white family in our neighborhood. So all the black people thought we were rich. So they would break into our house and they'd be disappointed because we didn't have shit. And he had to go out and apologize to his neighbor saying, I'm so sorry. We don't have anything. We're just white. We're poor. And these guys were howling and shocked that he was the Ghetto Boys. Were getting off on the shock humor. They were surprised. They were very surprised.
Oh, completely. And I watched the whole thing. It's about an hour and it's great. And he just him talking naturally. And these guys, they can't believe what's coming out of his mouth. They're they're stunned by it, but they love him. They
love
both
him.
ended up going to the Improv to see him.
Oh yeah. And they're like, put me on the list. Put me on the list, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But the fact
goes,
that
"I'll put you in the black
ghetto,
section."
he said to the guys, he goes, yeah, put me in. He goes, yeah. He goes, I'll put you in the black section. It's in the back. And they were just like, oh man, I can't believe he's saying this shit. This motherfucker's funny. They love him because, you know, and and Mark has the credentials. He grew up in a black neighborhood in New Orleans. So he's speaking truth.
Yeah.
He's not a racist.
Seinfeld, a few years ago, Seinfeld was at a Met game on TV, and they asked him who's the next comic to break. Who's an unknown right now? Who do you like? And he said Mark Norman. That was 3 or 4 years ago.
I thought you were going to say Al Duchamp.
It's really like right now.
Fuck him.
It's about. Well, it was. I know everybody was surprised, and now it seems like it's it's about to happen. I think in in another within a year he's not playing comedy clubs anymore. He's just theaters and and kind of a name in the comedy, even though he is now, but you have to be a comedy fan to know him.
Yeah.
I think in a year or so, the average person is going to be, oh yeah, I've seen that guy. I know who that is. So he was a guest. We had Pardo, Burr, and who else did I listed it on Twitter the other day, just to throw it out there, some of the guests we've had, but we're good. We've had some good guests.
We had a bunch of veteran comedians that are our friends. We had John Consoli, Frank Cinderelli. We had Helen Keeney from HSN. We had, we had the Beatleoff was a big hit.
Pat.
We had Pat Godwin from the Bob and Tom Show. Go ahead.
Beatleoff was one of our most popular shows. People loved it, and the downloads are there, and you get, because that one was good. You got comics, you got Beatle fans, you got trivia contest, whatever. So we will do another one of those.
Are we gonna do the
we'll Beatle-off again?
We're gonna do a Beatle-off, or we're gonna change the band? We're gonna do like a Rolling Stones off.
Oh, whatever. As long as you or I know something about them. I'm not much of a historian for Rolling Stones, or we're gonna find people. We could do it. Might not know any answers,
So what you're
or
saying
I could
is,
host it. You could, some band
I think I have this right. Al Romas just proclaimed that he doesn't know everything, and wow, that was big, a big step in your therapy.
I didn't proclaim that. I did not proclaim that. H is for Honduras. Honduras was discovered in 1658. It has palm trees and a heat and a warm climate.
But one side of Honduras is a completely different climate than the northern side. So the southern and northern sides are like being on two different islands. But it's not.
Good night, everybody.
But Honduras is actually not an island. It's just it's a connector between the two continents of North and South America. It's so there's the error.
This could all be edited out, right? You could edit all that out, right? Yeah.
I guess so.
Get rid of all that.
Say goodbye to everybody.
Did you like this without the video? Or not? What did you think? Was it awkward? What do you think?
It wasn't awkward.
I just audio.
I prefer the video.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
I agree. People should. No.
I like to see your expressions. Video. I like to see how comfortable you are. I like to see you get steamed when I do characters. Or impressions. He's like, God,
those characters. He's doing characters again.
Say goodbye to our listeners. Will you say goodbye to our listeners and apologize once again to our Patreon supporters?
Yeah, we'll do a video just for the patrons on Patreon. We'll do a separate one for them when we're got some good Wi-Fi. And to the listeners, we'll see you next time. Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. See ya.
Arrivederci.
Good luck in prison.
Don't forget to review us and rate us. It really helps.
The Talking Dicks became friends at a very young age, and the rest is history.
I'm losing my mind.
Patreon.com/The2Dicks, which is named after our web series. This is the Talking Dicks Comedy Podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
What?
Done.
I didn't kill my wife. I don't care.
We'll fix it in post, you son of a bitch.
Okay, show.
All right. Subscribe, Mary.
Go to patreon.com/forwardthetwodicks.
If you shoot me, you won't see a cent of that money. Why?
I think it ends on that. That's beautiful.